For me, this is the final piece. If Arsene Wenger wants to win the Premier League, because the way they sit right now with Giroud, it's not happening. It's just not happening. They can go and do all kinds of things. They can strengthen the middle of the field. They can strengthen at the back. They can build a new training centre. They can do every single thing that all clubs do right now. But if you don't have a guy who scores goals, who's a world-class striker, you ain't winning anything. And you're certainly not winning the Premier League. And unless Arsenal and Wenger goes and signs a striker, they're not winning the Premier League.
Ale?
Well, simple as that, really, when it comes to Arsenal. But it's a story that we seem to be discussing time and time again, year after year after year. So what is for us to hang on to and think, well, this is going to change? And then it becomes a situation of Higuain seems to be available. It's a back and forth, and is it this, is it that? But he seems to be out there. And yet Arsenal, they sort of threaten like they're going to go after him, but not quite. And that's really what Arsenal has become in the Premier League. They seem like they're going to threaten, they're all going to get there, but not quite.
At all.
Arsenal is that team. Arsene Wenger has become that guy, and it's almost there, but not quite good enough. And that will be the story once again, unless, of course, they're willing to make the investments.
Over to Raf. Raf, what do you think? If it's that obvious and everyone's known that Arsenal needs a striker, why haven't we seen it yet?
Well, it's almost impossible to understand how Arsene Wenger's mind works. This is the guy last year who didn't sign a single outfield player. This is a guy who always has problem with player valuations. I mean, if he looks at this market's valuations, I don't think he'll find a single player that he feels is right, especially the strikers who now don't start at 50, 60 million euros, but start at 70, 80, 90 when it comes to Higuain or Aubameyang theoretically. So I don't see Wenger spending that type of money. And incidentally, I don't believe that Arsenal are only one or two players away from being the finished article. They're always one or two players away from finished article. I think they have much deeper issues which will only be addressed under new management. And I think this year, if things don't change dramatically when it comes to buying players, and I don't think there will be, Arsenal will be in real trouble getting into the top four. And I think that might be finally the demise of Arsene Wenger at Arsenal.